Welcome to the 7 News Review, your quick recap of the top local and state stories this week from Southwest Oklahoma and beyond. I'm your host, Dave Hunter, and here's what you need to know. Our top story this week: on Tuesday, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol put out an endangered missing advisory for a missing 12-year-old Chickasha boy named Ryan Davis Jr. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation joined the investigation into the disappearance Wednesday, deeming it suspicious. Then on Thursday, the parents of the missing boy were arrested. Kimberly Cole, Ryan Davis Jr.'s mother, is charged with a crime against nature. Meanwhile, George Cole, who's the stepfather of Ryan Davis Jr., was booked into jail on a conspiracy charge. It's currently unknown if these charges are related to the child's disappearance. Also taking place this week, severe storms left behind damage across Oklahoma early Thursday morning. The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management released a statement sharing storm damages detailed by departments across the state. OEM said a line of severe storms across central and eastern Oklahoma this morning produced tornadoes, damaging winds and power outages. Localized flooding was also reported. In Lawton, damage reported includes building and roof damage, as well as power pole and power line damage. Classes were moved to virtual learning for MacArthur Middle School as wind damage caused a rooftop fire, which damaged AC units. And in Altus, city officials reported damage to power lines and power poles, leading to temporary outages in the city. Lastly, the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority issued an emergency order this week to suspend operations at Happy Feeling LLC. That's a marijuana grower in Lawton. The suspension is due to alleged regulatory violations. During a visit January 6th, OMMA inspectors allegedly identified and embargoed more than 4,000 untagged, untraceable marijuana plants and products. State law requires businesses to use the state inventory tracking system to track marijuana grown, processed, or sold. Due to the suspension, all marijuana products at Happy Feeling LLC have now been placed under administrative embargo. The grower is also prohibited from cultivating, moving, or selling any medical marijuana products. And now for some of the top stories making headlines across Oklahoma this week. First, Oklahoma State Representative Chris Banning of Bixby filed legislation this week banning obscene materials from public school libraries in Oklahoma. If passed under House Bill 2978, school districts would remove references to subjective community standards that follow the existing legal definition of obscenity, which is outlined in Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes when acquiring library materials banning states. This approach would ensure school libraries stay within the definition of education, reduce confusion, limit conflict, and give administrators a clear direction while preserving the innocence of our youth. Second, Oklahoma Senator Spencer Kern of Duncan will now be in a leadership position as Secretary of the State Agricultural and Rural Leaders Board. He was elected during the organization's annual summit last week, according to a press release. He'll help with cooperation, leadership, and policy development among North American agriculture leaders. And lastly, for your state stories, a local legislator has filed legislation to protect Oklahomans from rising utility costs linked to data center operations. State Representative Brad Bowles of Marlow filled the Data Center Consumer Ratepayer Protection Act of 2026. The bill would require data centers to pay their full share of infrastructure costs and prevent those expenses from being passed on to residents and small businesses through higher utility rates. Before we wrap up, a few community hits. This week, Lawton Public Schools received a nearly $250,000 federal grant to support Native American students in the district. The grant was awarded through the Native Youth Community Project, which is part of a $4.9 million five-year grant awarded to the Oklahoma State Department of Education. The funding aims to help Native youth with academic success, college and career readiness, and cultural identity development. 19% of students in the district identify as Native American. Also this week, the City of Lawton is offering vendor booths for its annual largest garage antiques and collectibles sale scheduled for March 13th and 14th. That event will take place at the Annex Building of the Comanche County Fairgrounds, 920 Southwest Sheridan Road. Shoppers can browse for household items, furniture, antiques, collectibles, jewelry, clothing, and handmade crafts. This year's sale will feature upgraded booth sizes of 10 by 13 feet. Vendor booths cost $80, with additional booths priced at $60. Retailer booth prices are $100, with additional booths at $80. Vendors can purchase booths online, then must call the Town Square Media Lawton office at 580-581-3600 to select their booth space. Booths can also be purchased in person at the Town Square Media Lawton office at 626 Southwest D Avenue. And lastly, Special Olympics Oklahoma is preparing for its largest state winter games in the organization's history. That event will feature 152 teams with over 2,700 athletes competing in 5 sports categories. 3 of the categories will be unified sports, which allows athletes with and without intellectual disabilities to compete together. The 29th annual State Winter Games are scheduled for January 8th through 10th at the University of Oklahoma in Norman and surrounding areas in the Oklahoma City metro area. Special Olympics Oklahoma is also seeking volunteers to help with the 2026 Winter Games. Those who are interested in lending a hand can visit sook.org. Well, that's this week's 7 News Review. I'm Dave Hunter, and for more on these stories and the latest breaking news, be sure to head to our website, kswo.com, and download the 7 News app. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another 7 News Review.